good.
Thank you. Good evening, everybody. Um, I've been filling in for Guy Barry for reading the Bible, and we've uh, had made announcements concerning his situation. He had entered the hospital and was placed in intensive care, but since that time, I guess it was he entered on Thursday, and come Friday, he was in the what they call the step down unit. It's an intermediate care unit prior to going into regular hospital admission or a room, and then going up into the intensive care. So, but please keep him in your prayers and thoughts. It's when you reach the age of 80 or 81, things are a little bit more difficult to bounce back from. So please keep him in your prayers and thoughts. The other thing I wanted to announce was Carl had shared with me that we have a new site on YouTube that is called Publish the Truth, exclamation mark, and conceal it not. And this will be primarily used for uploading of videos from tracking events. So I don't know how it's uploaded or where it gets placed. It might be going into the Dropbox initially, but there's now it's on YouTube. You can type in "publish the truth!" exclamation mark and conceal, not the word "and," but conceal it not exclamation mark, and that'll get you to the site where there are currently, I think, close to 40 videos. So, but this will be a location that you can visit to see videos that were taken on tracking events uh, internationally or locally. So, and is it now 6? It's now 6. I will start reading. I left off last week at Mark chapter 6, so I'll pick up from there and I'll read for about a half an hour. Thank you again for staying with us at Eddy Bible Fellowship, and now we'll hear the Lord's word. Mark chapter 6, and he went out from thence and came to his own country, and his disciples followed him. And when the Sabbath day was come, he began to teach in the synagogue. And many hearing him were astonished, saying, From whence hath this man these things? And what wisdom is this which he giveth unto him, that even such mighty works are wrought by his hands? Is it not the carpenter, the son of Mary, the brother of James and Joseph, and of Judah and Simon? And are not his sisters here with us, that they were offended at him? But Jesus said unto them, A prophet is not honored without honor. Excuse me, a prophet is not without honor, but in his own country and among his own kin and in his own house. And he could there do no mighty work, save that he laid his hands upon a few sick folk and healed them. And he marveled because of their unbelief, and he went round about the villages teaching. And he called unto him the 12, and began to teach them forth by send them forth by two and two, and gave them power to over unclean spirits. He commanded them that they should not take nothing for their journey, save a staff only, no script, no bread, no money in their purse. But he shod their sandals, and not with one, excuse me, but he shod with sandals, but be shod with sandals, and not with two coats. And he said unto them, In what place soever ye enter into an house, there abide till ye depart from that place. And whosoever shall not receive you, nor hear you, when ye depart thence, shake off the dust under your feet for a testimony against them. Verily I say unto you, it shall be more tolerant for Sodom and Gomorrah in the day of judgment than for that city. And they went out and preached that men should repent and they cast out many devils, and anointed with oil many that were sick, and healed them. And King Herod heard him, for his name was spread abroad. And he said unto John the Baptist, and he said that John the Baptist was risen from the dead, and therefore mightily works do show forth themselves in him. Others said that it is Elias, and others said that it is a prophet, or as one of the prophets. But when Herod heard thereof, he said, It is John, whom I beheaded. He is risen from the dead. For Herod himself had sent forth and laid hold upon John, and bound him in prison for Herodias' sake, his brother Philip's wife, for he had married her. For John had said unto Herod, It is not lawful for thee to have thy brother's wife. Therefore Herodias had a quarrel against him, and would have killed him, but she could not. For Herod feared John, knowing that he was a just man and holy, and observed him. And when he heard him, he did many things, and heard him gladly. And when a convenient day was come, that Herod on his birthday made a supper to his lords, high captains, and chief estates of Galilee. And when the daughter of the said Herodias came in, and danced and pleased Herod, and them that sat with him, the king said unto the damsel, Ask of me whatsoever thou wilt, and I will give it thee. And he sware unto her, Whatsoever thou shalt ask of me, I will give it thee unto the half of my kingdom. And she went forth and said unto her mother, What shall I ask? And she said, The head of John the Baptist. And she came in straightway with haste unto the king, and asked, saying, I will that thou give me by and by in a charger the head of John the Baptist. And the king was exceedingly sorry, yet for his oath's sake, and for their sakes which sat with him, he would not reject her. And immediately the king sent an executioner, and commanded the head to be brought, and he went and beheaded him in the prison, and brought his head in a charger, and gave it to the damsel, and the damsel gave it to her mother. And when his disciples heard of it, they came and took up his corpse, and laid it in a tomb. And the apostles gathered themselves together unto Jesus, and told him all things, both what they had done, and what they had taught. And he said unto them, Come ye yourselves apart unto a desert place, and rest a while. For there were many coming and going, and they had no leisure so much as to eat. And they departed into a desert place by ship privately. And the people saw them departing, and many knew him, and ran afoot thither out of all the cities, and outwent them, and came together unto him. And Jesus, when he came out, saw much people, and was moved with compassion toward them, because they were as sheep not having a shepherd. And he began to teach them many things. And when the day was now far spent, his disciples came unto him and said, This is a desert place, and now the time is far past. Send them away that they may go into the country round about, and into the villages, and buy themselves bread, for they have nothing to eat. He answered and said unto them, Give ye them to eat. And they said unto him, What shall we go and buy 200 penny worth of bread, and give them to eat? He saith unto them, How many loaves have ye? Go and see. And when they knew, they said, 5 and 2 fishes. And he commanded them to sit all down, make them all sit down by companies upon the grass. And they sat down in the ranks by hundreds and by fifties. And when he had taken the 5 loaves and the 2 fishes, he looked up to heaven, and blessed, and brake the loaves, and gave them to his disciples to set before them. And the 2 fishes divided he among them all. And they did all eat, and were filled. And they took up 12 baskets full of fragments and of the fishes. And they did eat of the loaves, were about 5,000 men. And straightway he commanded the disciples to get into the ship and to go to the other side before unto Bethsaida, while he sent away the people. And when he had sent them away, he departed into a mountain to pray. And when even was come, the ship was in the midst of the sea, and he alone on the land. And he saw them toiling in the rowing, for the wind was contrary unto them. And about the fourth watch of the night he cometh unto them, walking upon the sea, and would have passed by them. But when they saw him walking upon the sea, they supposed that he had been a spirit, and cried out. For they all saw him, and were troubled. And immediately he talked unto them, and saith unto them, Be of good cheer, it is I, be not afraid. And when he went up from them into the ship, and the wind ceased, and they were sore amazed in themselves beyond measure and wonder. For they considered not the miracle of the loaves, for their heart was hardened. And when they had passed over, they came into the land of Gennesaret and drew into the shore. And when they were come out of the ship straightway, they knew him. And they and ran through the whole region round about, and began to carry about in beds those that were sick, where they heard he was. And whithersoever he entered into villages or cities or country, they lay the sick in the streets and besought him that they might touch that him that excuse me. They laid the sick in the streets and besought him that they might touch, if it were but the border of his garment, and as many as touched him were made whole. Mark chapter 7. Then came together unto him the Pharisees and certain of the scribes which came from Jerusalem. And when they saw some of his disciples eat bread and with defiled, ate bread with defiled, they said, with what? And they said, excuse me, and they said unto unwashed hands they found fault. For the Pharisees and all the Jews, except they wash their hands oft, eat not, holding the tradition of the elders. And when they were come forth of the when they were come from the market, except they washed, they ate not, and many other things there be, which they have received to hold, as the washing of cups and pots, brazen vessels, and of tables. When the Pharisees and the scribes asked him, Why walk not thy disciples among according to the traditions of the elders, but eat bread with unwashed hands? He answered and said unto them, Well hath Esaias prophesied of you hypocrites, as it is written, This people honoreth me with their lips, but their heart is far from me. Howbeit in vain do the word, howbeit in vain they worship me, teaching the doctrines, the commandments of men. For laying aside the commandment of God, they hold the tradition of men, as the washing of pots and cups, and many other such things, such like things ye do. And he said unto them, full well ye reject the commandment of God, that ye may keep your own tradition. For Moses said, Honor thy father and thy mother, and whoso curseth father or mother, let him die the death. But ye say, If a man shall say unto his father or mother, It is Corban, that is to say, a gift, by whatsoever thou mightest be profited by me, he shall be free. And ye suffer him no more to do aught he his father or his mother, making the word of God of none effect, though your tradition which ye have delivered, and many such like things do ye. And when he had called all the people unto him, he said unto them, Hearken unto me, every one of you, and understand. There is nothing from without a man that entereth into him can defile him, but the things which come out of him, they are they that defile the man. If any man have ears to hear, let him hear. And when he had entered into the house for the people, his disciples asked him concerning the parable. And he said unto them, Are ye so without understanding also? Do ye not perceive that whatsoever thing from within, excuse me, do ye not receive that whatsoever thing from without entereth into a man, it cannot defile him, because it entereth not into the heart, his heart, but into the belly, and goeth out into the draught, purging all meats. And he said, What that which cometh out of the man that defileth a man, from for from within, out of the heart of man, proceed evil thoughts, adulteries, and fornications, murders, thefts, covetousness, wickedness, deceit, lasciviousness, an evil eye, blasphemy, pride, foolishness. All these evil things come from within and defile the man. And from thence he arose and went into the borders of Tyre and Sidon, and entered into the house, and would have no man know it, but he could not be hid. For a certain woman, whose young daughter had an unclean spirit, heard of him, and came and fell at his feet. The woman was a Greek of Syrophoenician by nation, and she besought him that he would cast forth the devil out of her daughter. But Jesus said unto her, Let the children first be filled, for it is not meet to take the children's bread and to cast it unto the dogs. And she answered and said, Yes, unto him, Yes, Lord, yet the dogs under the table eat the children's crumbs. And he said unto her, For this saying, Go thy way, the devil is gone out of thy daughter. And when she was come to her house, she found the devil gone out of her daughter, laid upon the bed. And again departing from the coast of Tyre and Sidon, he came to the Sea of Galilee, through the midst of the coast of Decapolis. And they brought unto him one that was deaf, and had an impediment in his speech, and they beseeched him to put his hands upon him. And he took him aside from the multitude, and put his fingers into his ears, and he spit and touched his tongue. And looking up to heaven, he sighed, and saith unto him, Ephratah, that is, be opened. And straightway his ears were open, and the string of his tongue was loosed, and he spake plain. And he charged them that he should tell no man, but the more he charged them, so much more a great deal that published it. And they were beyond measure astonished, saying, He hath done all things well. He maketh both the deaf to hear and the dumb to speak. Mark chapter 8. In those days, the multitude being great, and having nothing to eat, Jesus called his disciples unto him, and saith unto them, I have compassion on the multitude, because they have not been with me 3 days. They have now been with me 3 days, and have nothing to eat. And if I send them away fasting to their own houses, they will faint by the way, for divers of them came from far. And his disciples answered him, From whence can a man satisfy these men with bread where in the wilderness, here in the wilderness? And he asked him, How many loaves have ye? And they said, 7. And he commanded that the people sit down on the ground. And he took the 7 loaves, and gave thanks, and brake, and gave to his disciples to set before them. And they did set them before the people. And they had a few small fishes, and he blessed and commanded to set them before them. So they did eat and were filled, and they took up the broken meat that was left, 7 baskets. And they that had eaten were about 4,000, and he sent them away. And straightway he entered into the ship with his disciples and came to the parts of Dalmanutha, Dalmathuma, Dalmanutha. And the Pharisees came forth and began to question him, seeking of him a sign from heaven, tempting him. And he sighed deeply in the spirit and saith, What doth this generation seek after a sign? Verily I say unto you, there shall no sign be given unto this generation. And he left them and entered into the ship again, departed to the other side. Now the disciples had forgotten to take bread, neither had they in the ship with them more than one loaf. And he charged them, saying, Take heed, beware of the leaven of the Pharisees and of the leaven of Herod. And they reasoned among themselves, saying, it is because we have no bread. And when Jesus knew it, he saith unto them, Why reason ye because ye have no bread? Perceive ye not, yet neither understand, that ye your heart yet hardened? Having eyes see ye not, and having ears hear ye not, and do not ye not remember? When I break the 5 loaves among 5,000, how many baskets full of fragments took ye up? They say unto him, 12. And when the 7 among the 4,000, how many baskets full of fragments take ye up? And they said, 7. And he said unto them, How is it that ye do not understand? And he cometh from Bethsaida, and they bring a blind man unto him, and besought him to touch him. And he took the blind man by the hand and led him out of the town. And when he had spit on his eyes and put his hands upon him, he asked him if he saw aught. And he looked up and said, I see men as trees walking. After that, he put his hands again upon his eyes and made him look up, and he was restored and saw every man clearly. And he sent him away to his house, saying, Neither go ye into the town, nor tell it to any in this town. And Jesus went out and his disciples into the towns of Caesarea Philippi. And by the way, he asked his disciples, saying unto them, Whom do men say that I am? And they answered, John the Baptist, but some say Elias, and others one of the prophets. And he saith unto them, But whom say ye that I am? And Peter answered and saith unto him, Thou art the Christ. And he charged them that they should tell no man of him. And he began to teach them that the Son of Man must suffer many things and be rejected of the elders and of the chief priests and scribes, and be killed, and after 3 days rise again. And he spake that saying openly, and Peter took him and began to rebuke him. But when he had turned away and looked on his disciples, he rebuked Peter, saying, Get thee behind me, Satan, for thou savorest not the things that be of God, but the things that be of men. And when he had heard the people unto him with his disciples, when he had called his people unto him with his disciples also, he said unto them, Whosoever will come after me, let him deny himself and take up his cross and follow me. For whosoever shall save his life shall lose it, but whosoever shall lose his life for my name's sake, the gospels, the same shall save it. For what shall it profit a man if he shall gain the whole world and lose his own soul? Or what shall a man give in exchange for his soul? Whosoever therefore shall be ashamed of me and of my words in this adulterous and sinful generation, of him also shall the Son of Man be ashamed, when he cometh in the glory of his Father and with the holy angels. Mark chapter 9. And he said unto them, Verily I say unto you, that there be some of them that stand here that shall not taste of death, neither they that have seen the kingdom of God come with power. And after 6 days, Jesus taketh with him Peter and James and John, and leadeth them up into a high mountain apart by themselves. And he was transfigured before them. And his raiment became shining, exceeding white as snow, so as no fuller on earth can white them. And they appeared unto them, and there appeared unto them Elias with Moses, and they were talking with Jesus. And Peter answered and said to Jesus, Master, is it good for us to be here? Let us make 3 tabernacles, one for thee, and one for Moses, and one for Elias. And he wist not what to say, for they were sore afraid. And there was a cloud that overshadowed them, and a voice came out of the cloud, saying, This is my beloved Son, hear him. And suddenly, when they had looked around about, they saw no man any more, save Jesus only with themselves. And as they came down from the mountain, he charged them that they should tell no man what things they had seen till the Son of Man were risen from the dead. And they kept that saying with themselves, questioning one with another, and with what the rising from the dead should mean. And they asked him, saying, What say the scribes that Elias must come first? And he answered and told them, Elias verily cometh first, and restoreth all things. And how is it written of the Son of Man, that he must suffer many things, and be set at naught? But I say unto you that Elias is indeed come, and they that have done unto him whatsoever thing listed, as it is written of him. And when they came to his disciples, he saw a great multitude about them, and the scribes questioning with them. And straightway all of the people, when they had beheld him, were greatly amazed, and running to him, saluted him. And he asked the scribes, What question ye with them? What question ye them with them? And one of the multitude answered and said, Master, I have brought unto thee my son, which hath a dumb spirit, and wheresoever he taketh him, it teareth him, and he foameth and gnasheth with his teeth, and pineth away. And I spake to his disciples that they should cast him out, and they could not. He answered him and saith, O faithless generation, how long shall I be with you? How long shall I suffer you? Bring him unto me. And they brought him unto him, and when he saw him, straightway the spirit tear him, and he fell on the ground and wallowed foaming. And he asked his father, How long is it ago since this came into him? And he said, Of a child. And oft times it hath cast him into the fire and into the waters to destroy him. But if thou canst do anything, have compassion on us and help us. And Jesus said unto him, If thou canst believe, all things are possible to him that believeth. And straightway his father of the child cried out and said with tears, Lord, I believe, help thou mine unbelief. When Jesus saw that the people came running together, he rebuked the foul spirit, saying unto him, Thou dumb and deaf spirit, I charge thee, come out of him, and enter no more into him. And the spirit cried and rent him sore, and came out of him, and he was as one dead, insomuch that many said, He is dead. But Jesus took him by the hand and lifted him up, and he arose. And when he was come into the house, his disciples asked him privately, Why could not we cast him out? And he said unto them, This kind can come forth by nothing but by prayer and fasting. And they departed thence and passed through Galilee, and he would not that any man should know it. For he taught his disciples and said unto them, The Son of Man is delivered into the hands of the men, and they shall kill him, and after that he is killed, he shall rise the third day. But they understood not that saying, and were afraid to ask him. And he came to Capernaum, and being in the house, he asked them, What is what is it that ye disputed among yourselves by the way? But they held their peace, for by the way they had disputed among themselves who should be the greatest. And he sat down and called the 12, and saith unto them, If any man desire to be first, the same shall be last of all, the servant of all. And he took a child and set him in the midst of them. And when he had taken him in his arms, he said unto them, Whosoever shall receive one of such children in my name receiveth me. And whosoever shall receive me receiveth not me, but him that sent me. And John answered him, saying, Master, we saw one casting out devils in thy name, and he followeth not us. And we forbade him, because he followeth not us. But Jesus said, forbid him not, for there is no man which shall do a miracle in my name that can lightly speak evil of me. For he that is not against us is on our part. For whosoever shall give you a cup of water to drink in my name, because ye belong to Christ, verily I say unto you, he shall not lose his reward. And whosoever shall offend one of these little ones that believe in me, it is better for him that the millstone be hanged about his neck and he were cast into the sea. Well, I'll stop there at verse 42. Well, thank you for staying with us.